All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Elizabeth with Scott Leroy Marketing. Welcome to How to Use Facebook Ads Through Command. We're going to start today in Google Chrome. That is best optimized for command. We also like to use Firefox. That seems to work really well with designs. And of course, incognito mode as well. So let me open up a new incognito window. And we're going to go to agent.kw.com to sign into command. We're going to enter our username and password. Oops, if I can type. Yeah, you can definitely use Safari. You may not see everything available on command. There may be some links or buttons that don't work. Both KW and Scott Leroy Marketing do suggest using Chrome or Firefox. And the class will be on slmtraining.com pretty much forever. We keep the most up-to-date versions there, and all of the versions, everything we upload is found on our YouTube channel. Incognito doesn't store any cache, cookies, history, data at all. So you're always going to see the most up-to-date version of command. All right, and once we're logged in, we're gonna start by going to our marketing profile settings to see if everything is up and running properly before we actually create a paid ad. So we're gonna click our name in the top right corner and click settings. I like to click the accept cookies in the bottom right corner. Again, even though we're in incognito, those cookies won't be stored once we exit, but I don't like seeing that banner there. So you can see here, I do have my Facebook connected. If you do not see the connected one account in the third column, then you want to be sure to connect your Facebook. Now we're mainly going to be working with Facebook Ads Manager today, but you're more than welcome to go ahead and connect the Facebook post scheduling as well. It's going to take just a few clicks. Since you've already logged in with the Facebook Ads Manager. The post scheduling, just to touch on that for a second, will post to your page, not the personal profile, for free at a later date. So where you can schedule posts to go out. The Facebook Ads Manager, which is what we're going to be using today, is going to be where we can create ads that will go to other people's news feeds. They're not going to be shown on your page necessarily, but they do cost money. You do have to be an admin on your page to be able to post ads. So once this, and of course, post scheduling if you want it to, once this is connected, of course, you'll see the connected here in this column. We're going to go over to Connect Settings and Marketing Profile. The ads will cost however much you want them to cost. The minimum is $1 a day, but we'll get into that. If you only have post scheduling, you may need to scroll down a little bit to find the Facebook Ads Manager to connect that as well. So within your marketing profile, you want to make sure all of your information is added to your liking. And of course, you'll click Save at the bottom. This is always good practice before you do start anything anyways, because some of these fields will carry over. So you want to add them all here so you don't have to add them multiple times later. All right, and now we're going to get started with campaigns. So when in doubt, click the red square in the top left corner to pop out all of the applet names. The campaigns is going to be the little megaphone about the 7th applet down. And we'll click to visit campaigns. Agent license number does not have to be displayed for campaigns. Anywhere else though, I'd check with your broker to see what their preference is. All right, and we're in campaigns. So here you'll see we're started on the dashboard where we can see our connected channels, connected accounts, quick posts, and tips and training. Paid ads is where we're going to be working today. Emails is where you would find how to mass email your database or specific lists. Direct mail is postcards. And social posts is related to that Facebook post scheduling I mentioned earlier. It's just creating social media posts and scheduling them out for later. Next, you'll see this payments somewhat of a tab over here towards the top right. We want to set this up first. And of course, I don't have a card on file, but you're going to want to add a payment method here in the center left of the page. And it's going to pop up and you're going to enter your card information and click Add Card. LinkedIn is not available to post to, whether it be just the free post scheduling or the paid ads quite yet, but feel free to visit ideas.kw.com and suggest that or upvote someone who already has suggested it. So once you have that payment added, we can now click Create a New Campaign. Top right, blue button. This is going to pop out to choose a campaign type. If you have a payment method on Facebook already, you will have to add the payment method here in Command as well. So these icons, these tiles here are similar to the tabs. You'll see social ad, paid, which is the one we're going to be choosing today. You'll see the Google icon, search ad for Google AdWords. Social post is going to be that scheduling a post for a later date. Direct mail, like postcards. And email for mass emailing your database or contacts. So if you're following along, click the first icon, top left, social ad, paid. And you're going to get the pop-up for a new social ad campaign. First, we're going to enter the campaign name. No one's actually going to see this name outside of yourself, so feel free to name it whatever you'd like. We've seen common practice being the listing address, so on your dashboard under campaigns, it says paid ads with your personal Facebook account. That is the account connected to your command. So it is correct. You won't see your the name of your Facebook page there. You'll see your profile. Next, you're going to choose your goal. Like I said, commonly we see people advertise a listing, but you're more than welcome to choose whichever goal fits your campaign the best. So if you wanted to advertise multiple listings, attract listings is a good one. Attract talent, maybe to your office or your team specifically. Brand awareness, maybe if you're new to Keller Williams, new to real estate in general, maybe new to an area. Event awareness, if you have maybe a client appreciation event or want to share maybe an open house. Attract buyers. Or when in doubt, you can click other. Next, where will your campaign run? So I'm going to check Facebook because that's what I have connected. The option to run it on Instagram is available if your Instagram is connected to your Facebook. So there's no way to log into Instagram through command. It all depends on if your Instagram is connected to Facebook. And then the option for Twitter as well. This class, we're just going to be doing Facebook. So if you have any questions on the other two, feel free to shoot us an email or give us a call. This ad connects to the business Facebook page, yes, but it's through your personal account. So that's the account you'll actually connect to command in the settings. But you'll choose the page when you're connecting. that you want to use. Next, we'll click Setup Campaign, the button in the bottom right of that pop-up. If you can't see it, feel free to zoom out, but it'll be at the very bottom. Another reason I like clicking that Allow Cookies banner at the bottom, because sometimes it does cover up some buttons. And of course, to be doing this, you will actually need a Facebook business page. So if you don't have that set up, feel free to check out our other videos on our YouTube channel or slmtraining.com. If you posted an ad and cannot see it, check out your dashboard under campaigns. Oh, and it looks like I need to reconnect. So let me try this again here. Oops. These pop-up boxes do not like to be dragged. And I gotta remember my Facebook password. Let's see if that works. There we go. We'll get to targeting your database in just a bit. It's one of the steps. It's step 4 or 5 or so. All right, so the first thing it's going to do, it's going to pop out this window from the right to search by the property address. Oops. If you would like to set up a Facebook business page, you'll just visit your Facebook. And then in the top right, drop down, and you should be able to create a page by clicking the plus sign. So if you can't find your listings here because it's showing only my listings, click this drop down arrow and change it to all listings. And as long as your listing is active in the MLS, it'll use KWLS 2.0 and show here. So it shows me 103,000 listings. Let me find, let's use this one here. I'm going to select, because this is just a test for me. All right, awesome. So feel free to go through these purple boxes, the speech bubbles that pop up. These are new, and these are guides to help you create your Facebook campaign. Since that's basically the overview of this class, I'm going to go ahead and skip, but feel free to arrow through those. You would definitely need to get permission from listing agents to run an ad for their listing, since you aren't the agent on the contract. And yeah, feel free to go along with me on your own computer, or just simply take notes. Up to you and how you learn best too. All right, and the first thing we suggest doing is over here on the right-hand side, changing the preview from web feed to mobile. This is actually how people most commonly view Facebook, on their cell phones, tablets, uh, you know, they hold it in their hand when they're sitting on the couch or, just taking it easy at the end of the day. So we're going to optimize this to be shown on a mobile device, and that'll make sense a little bit later with the character count. But feel free to toggle back and forth between mobile and web feed as you see fit. The difference between a paid Facebook ad and the free scheduling a post is the free scheduling a post is posted to your timeline so that your friends on Facebook can see it, whereas the paid Facebook ad is actually going to be a sponsored ad, and that'll show on people's news feeds that you aren't friends with. So, like when you're scrolling along your news feed and you see a post and right underneath the title it says sponsored right here in the mobile preview. Like I get some for bold leads. Um, this can also be where a lot of people say Big Brother tracks you and, whatever you are thinking about buying or have been talking about buying, sponsored ads will start showing up. They'll be kind of hidden in your news feed, but they'll look similar to what a friend has posted. Yeah, there's definitely a difference between doing a Facebook ad through command versus just doing it through Facebook. So, doing it through Facebook, you're doing it as yourself, like as your person. But with the Keller Williams partnership Facebook has with us, it will definitely be more cost effective with Keller Williams because it's attached to our brand and you have 170, 180 some odd thousand other agents doing it along with you. So this first section, name and goal, this is what we've already selected in that first pop-up, the name, the goal. So if you wanted to change it, you could change it here. And if you do change it, click Save Name and Goal, and we'll see the green check mark. So nice and simple. We already got one taken care of. The next section is the property we just chose. So if you accidentally selected the wrong one, click Change Listing. And again, if you're not showing any of your listings here, toggle over to All Listings, the drop down in the far right. Search by property address and click Search. But we're going to stick with this 123 Main. It is a real listing, but we're using it as a test today. So section number 3 is Add Text, and we're going to click Configure. Yeah, if your goal is brand awareness, feel free to choose that. We're doing an advertised listing today. All the leads that come in will come into your command contacts, the contacts applet over here to the left. If you don't have any listings, you can still do an ad. You can actually use the attract listings goal. So let's configure this add text. So first you'll see that the main copy field is already filled in. This actually comes from the MLS, so part of your work is already done. And as a reminder and tip, keep your text short, clear, and to the point to get your message across. Talk about any exciting landmarks or amenities nearby. It does say recommended 125 characters or less. And then you'll see 250 is the maximum. But see over here in the preview how it shows the ellipses, the dot, dot, dot. We find that it's better to make this shorter so that that dot doesn't show up, so they don't have to click any more than they want to. So let's delete some text and get it closer to, there we go. Looks like we only used 100 characters. There's no more ellipses here. So it looks nice on the mobile preview. Next, we're going to enter the headline in this next field. The red asterisk means required. So you can kind of enter the headline based on what the main copy field says. So I'm just going to use some of the exact wording. Note that it does say headlines over 40 characters may be cut off. We can check that over here in the preview. You see it's going to run into that Learn More button. So the shorter the better. I mean, we only use 23 characters here, so you can kind of preview what it's going to look like. See, it'll go down to the next line here and then start to be cut off. So shorter the better. Oh, too much. Next, we're going to enter the description. Feel free to click Use Suggestion or Shuffle. It will say description will be shown in some placements. So it will definitely be shown in the mobile version. And it will definitely be shown in the web feed version. So be mindful of that. I mean, you could put anything here. This is going to be the description right next to the call to action, the CTA button. You know, you could even say something like schedule a private tour with me today. And we'll see it pop up in the mobile preview. Another note, text cannot contain misleading content, content that implies personal attributes, adult or political content. If you have any questions about those, these are all links that you can click on to find out more details about them. And then one more thing I forgot to mention, this little smiley face in the bottom right corner of these fields is the emojis. So you can use emojis in the main copy and description. So let's find, you know, if you wanted to use one of the houses here, you could add that. And of course, it'll look different on Android versus iPhone, but they'll still get the picture. It's a house. And then once we're satisfied with that, click Save Add Text. Next, we're going to go to the Add Media section. Even though there is a green check already, we're going to click Configure to make sure it's how we want. You can use the image that came directly from MLS. You can also add more images to produce a sort of carousel style. You could also change this to a video as well. Now, we highly suggest doing a really, really short video, somewhere between 15 and 30 seconds. But at max, the video must be shorter than 10 minutes and smaller than 250 megabytes. And one of these two formats. But those 15 seconds to 30-second videos seem to do the best. So I'm going to close out a video, go back to image, because I don't have a video for this property. Next, we're going to check out the DBA logo, the Doing Business As. If you don't have one here or in your marketing profile like we showed at the very beginning, you can click here to find your Market Center's DBA logo. It's going to open up a new tab to KW Connect. And if you're already logged in, it'll keep you logged in. You may have to log in, but it's going to take you straight to logos and branding within KW Connect. You can also go to resources and marketing to find that. And here it's going to show you the KW identity and style guide right up front. And then the next section is going to be the Market Center logos with a search box. So you can search by your Market Center number. I'm just throwing some random numbers in here. Or you can search by your Market Center name. Either way, once you find your Market Center, you can click to preview or just straight download. That's actually going to give you a whole suite of logos. It's going to have everything from the all white logo to the red, black, and gray logo you see here. It's going to have a black and gray version, a red and white version, a whole bunch of different options to choose from. So once you have that downloaded, you can come back over to Command, Campaigns, and upload your file here. Next is the DBA logo position. We're going to toggle it to left. I like it left aligned just because of how the KW and the Keller Williams sits, but feel free to add it on the right as well. And you'll see that pop up in the preview over here. And then check the Include My Ownership statement. Feel free to check with your broker to see what all is required and what all you can have on your ad, like the price or a different logo there, because sometimes some of the Market Center logos can't be found on KW Connect. I'm going to toggle mine back over to the left. There we go. And then as a reminder, use high resolution images with little or no overlaid text for best results. So if your logo is coming out blurry, I would re-download that from KW Connect to get the highest resolution possible. And then click Save Ad Media. So we're just going through each section, configuring and saving. Next section, Facebook ad. We're going to click Configure. The first question it's asking is which account do you want it to pull from? So this should be auto-filled from your settings, which account we added. And then here is where you can choose the page. So if you have more than one page, let's say you have a page for your real estate, a page for your Scentsy, a page for your, I don't think they're called Jamberry nails anymore, but if you have different businesses, you can have different pages. You would just select yours here. Give it a second to load and apply that. Oh, 502 Bad Gateway. We may need to refresh this altogether. There it goes. Second time's a charm. The second question is asking the destination. Set a destination for people viewing your ad. We, as Keller Williams Realty International, recommend using the Facebook lead generation form. And actually, so do we. We find that the Facebook lead generation form pops up and autofills with their information from Facebook. So it saves them from typing it in additionally, which everyone knows if something pops up and it's not autofilled, chances are that they're just going to exit out without entering anything are fairly high. It's only going to ask for their first name, last name, email address, and phone number. And unfortunately, there's no way to edit that form. So you can't add things like their address, how many bedrooms they're looking for, how many bathrooms. It's just going to have first name, last name, email address, and phone number. But once they fill that out, it's going to pop over into your contacts applet and display with a little L, a little green L icon next to their name so that you know that they came from a Facebook ad. Now, you are more than welcome to use a site or landing page. Oh, and of course, if you haven't accepted Facebook's terms of service for this page, you will be prompted to. So let's show you that. I'm going to click continue. It's going to take me to the accept page. And I'm going to read through all of this and click accept. And this is going to change from that red X to a green check mark with the banner terms have been accepted. Then I can just close this tab here and go back to command. Name and goal does not show up on the ad. You are correct. So I'm going to choose use Facebook lead generation form again. Perfect. So like I was saying, you are more than welcome to use a site or landing page to collect that information. Sometimes people like to use Google Forms. It's a really handy, pretty easy way to create a form. or of course, a landing page within Command. So if you have either one of those, select this radial button. Next is the button call to action label. So you see over here in our preview, there's going to be a button that will say learn more, sign up, apply now, whichever you choose. I'm going to actually keep it at learn more. I think that best describes it. And then next is the follow-up destination URL. So after they enter or confirm their information in the Facebook lead generation form, this website that you put in here is where they'll be directed to. We highly suggest going to your website. So don't go to my website, ecruise.kw.com, but go to your website and find this property. Oops, not that one. And this is 123 Main Street, Lafayette, Ohio. So I'm going to start typing in here and find the listing. There we are. So I'm going to select this listing. This probably wasn't the best one to do because that just said courtesy of EXP, but that's all right. This is just a test. So once I have from my website the property pulled up and it has the nearby schools, upcoming open houses, nearby, it's going to be branded to me. I'm going to steal this website address, right-click, copy, and then head back over to the campaigns, the first tab, and right-click, paste. My default is always paste as plain text, but you can use the regular paste in this instance. And pop it in there. I'm going to delete one of the characters and then retype it. Oh, I see why. It doubled up the HTTP. So I'm going to delete the first one there. And now it's correct. You'll see this green check. If you would like to use a landing page that you've already created, feel free to choose landing page, the button off to the right. All right, and the third question in this section is ad targeting. So your audience is set automatically. You can also customize the audience and set your own values. So by default, it's going to use the location of the listing and a 20-mile radius. So if you want to change either of those things, we're just going to toggle this use custom settings on. But if you do want to leave it at that, feel free. So I'm going to toggle this on and show you what it can do. Here is where you would either target my database, and with that you would select any of your groups or lists that you have your Facebook friends in, or of course create a new one. Or you can target a custom audience. So we're gonna choose the location. I'm gonna leave it at the United States. Choose the city and state. I'm gonna leave it at Lafayette, Ohio, where my listing is. And the radius. So the fewest amount of miles we can do is 15, but you can also increase if you would like. Yes, if one opens your paid ad and clicks learn more and they fill in that Facebook lead generation form, that data will be auto-populated into your command for follow-up. You can definitely target out of state. Yeah. You would just kind of clear out that location and then start typing in whatever other location you would want. Unfortunately, there wouldn't be a way to exclude people from seeing this ad. So if someone's already liked your page type thing. So the last step to this ad targeting is this add or change interests. It does say optional, but we highly, highly suggest adding some interests here. We like to say about 10. You know, we're not spending too much time on this for sure, but we want to add some of the common ones. And some of the common ones that we see are the word home. So I'm going to type in home. And you'll see when we hover over each one, it'll show not only the audience size, but a brief description. So I'm going to check the word home. I want to use that one. None of these others really apply, but let's say your house was big enough, had enough square feet to where they would have a home office inside, maybe check home business. If maybe the house did need some repairs and you wanted to target people who are interested in home repair, you would check this one. Next, I'm going to choose real estate. So you could choose real estate investing, development, real estate license, maybe if you're doing attract talent. Next one we suggest is if your property was in a specific market or price range where luxury would apply. I don't know why this isn't loading. There we go. You could choose luxury property. And then we also suggest the kind of big three home search websites like homes.com, realtor.com. Realtor.com Pro is mainly for agents. So we don't suggest checking that one unless you are, of course, advertising to agents. Zillow, again, the premier agent. Zillow and Trulia is mainly for agents. And then speaking of Trulia, we'll select that one as well. Oh, I just saw you. Where'd you go? So if you have any other suggestions, there we go. For expert targeting interests, you can add them here. You know, feel free to ask any of the command Facebook groups as well, see what's working best for other people. But those are the ones that we suggest here are these 6. or 7 or 8 if you chose any of the others. And then we like to leave this drop down on or. If you were to select and, the person seeing this ad would need to have home and real estate investing and homes.com and. It really narrows down who is going to see this. So we always leave it at or in case the interests only have, or the people only have one of the interests. So if you wanted to get really specific, choose and. If not, leave it at or. And you'll see the estimated audience over here towards the right, or at the center of the page really, but the right of this section. This is actually the estimated audience for the entire world. So not just within your location, which is kind of deceiving because you would think so, but a 25-mile circular radius of Lafayette, Ohio definitely doesn't have this many people in it. All right, and we're done with this section, so we'll click Save Facebook Ad. Oh, and it wants us to fill in the required fields. It probably doesn't like our page since it gave us an error earlier. So next section is the duration and budget. Like I said earlier, the minimum is $1 per day. Keller Williams suggests at least 10 days with a budget of $1 per channel per day. And we recommend at least a week, at least 7 days to kind of get how this ad is going to be working. That is, of course, if it's something with a due date like an open house, you can definitely shorten or extend that duration. And then one note, you have to at least push this out 1 day. It can't be published on the same day. So we would choose if we want to start it tomorrow. And then when we want it to end, and that'll give us the duration. And then total campaign budget. So if we only wanted to do $1 a day, we could. If we wanted to do $2 a day, we could. By toggling the plus and minus, it does change the amounts down at the bottom. A channel is the social media that it's going to be posted to. So Facebook is one channel, Instagram is another channel, Twitter is another. So if I had checked both Facebook and Instagram, it would be doing 9 days, $2 per day per channel for $36 total, because it would be doubling it. And then once we're satisfied with that, we're going to save duration and budget. Get the green check mark. Now, one note before you publish this campaign is, unlike creating a Facebook ad through Facebook, you are not able to edit this ad after you publish it through command. So just be extra sure that this is what you want to post before you click publish. Otherwise, you can save as draft. And of course, since this is just a test, I'm going to click save as draft as well. Are you sure you want to save? Yes. So again, while that's loading, before you publish, just know that you cannot edit that after you publish. The workaround is simply pausing, which you can do over here in the three dots once it is published. Here is where you can also archive that campaign. But this is where you'll see the campaigns, paid ads tab, the sort of dashboard of all of your campaigns. You can see the title, which channel it's going to be posting to, preview, the status. One more difference between creating an ad on Facebook versus Command is Facebook generally approves ads within a couple of minutes, but Command approves ads within about 24 hours. So you can check on its status here. See the duration, cost per milli, cost per click, cost per lead captured. And all of those definitions are under the little eye icon in the far right. If you click that, you can see CPM, cost per milli, or 1,000 impressions, how it's used, how it's calculated. So the cost per milli measures the total amount spent on an ad campaign divided by 1,000. CPC is cost per link, click, how it's used, how it's calculated. Leads captured and what that means. And then last but not least is the CPLC, or cost per lead captured. That one's pretty self-explanatory. It's how much the total amount divided by the number of leads captured. And that's where that money goes to. It'll tell you the cost per impressions, clicks, or leads captured. If you liked this campaign, you can also duplicate this from the three dots on the right. And then last but not least, with this dashboard, you can see the campaigns in the last 7 days, 30 days, month to date. You can see all of your impressions, the whole total, the total of leads captured. And then this little icon here will pop you straight to the leads captured within your contacts applet. And of course, the total amount spent. So that was how to create a Facebook ad through Command. Of course, if you had any additional questions I wasn't able to get to today, feel free to shoot us an email or give us a call. And of course, if you had any errors, we'd be more than happy to help you out with those as well. Just let us know. Hope everyone has a wonderful day, and we will see you all again later.